This is really, really bad. Trump and Elon now going at it. Well, Elon going at Trump. He leaves the White House and boom, he goes on the attack on Trump's beautiful bill. And all of a sudden, Democrats are like, Elon's the greatest. Listen to me. Take the middle ground and pay attention to what I'm about to say. I've been teaching you a game since 2020. I've been talking to you guys about the bond market non-stop. And as you look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. Now, the silver lining in this is there's a reason why Bitcoin has become one of the most popular assets. There's a reason why Trump is making America the Bitcoin capital of the world and the crypto capital of the world. There's a reason why the countries in the Middle East after Trump went there are super, super bullish on Ripple and XRP. There's a reason why XRP was created as a bridge currency to solve the liquidity crisis. There's a reason why Bitcoin, 95% of the supply is gone, and only 95% of the public, only 5% of the public has exposure to it. It's been the plan all along. Bitcoin is your new digital gold. XRP will be the most disruptive technologies to ever hit the financial system. You're seeing a controlled, very important, very different than other times, a controlled demolition of the fiat system, transitioning from an inflationary, non-backed currency to a fixed supply, deflationary asset. And there'll never be a moment in time, ever again in our living history, not even our grandkids' history, that you have an opportunity to invest in the rails that are making that transition. The US dollar is not going to collapse. It is going to transmute into a stable coin, stable appearance of a stable monetary system. They're going to tokenize all the treasuries. I believe they're going to revalue gold. They're going to take some of that gold, do an accounting measure, rebalance the balance sheet into some Bitcoin. Bitcoin grows 50% every single year. It's crushed every other asset class the last 10 years. And it used to be those who hold the gold rule the world. Now it's going to be those who hold the Bitcoin run the world. So that's why XRP and Bitcoin are my number one and number two holding. I don't follow riddlers. I don't look at crazy predictions. I follow logic. I follow history and I follow patterns. This is nothing new under the sun. This has happened in humanity over and over again. So you need to stay calm and you need to really understand what the distraction is right now. The bill is going to pass. There might be some changes to it, but this bill is going to pass. And they are going to turn the printing machine on full blast in a non-asset backed currency. They're going to monetize debt like you've never seen before. And they are going to work to grow their way out of the economy. The public and private sector are coming together. And why do I tell you all that? Because these are the things you're invested in. Blockchain technology, on-demand liquidity, real-time payments, AI technology, public and private sector coming together. We're going from government involvement to decentralization to business people running the country. But remember, this will last for 4 years, and who knows what's going to come up in 2029 to 2030. But I do know when they print more money than in history and they monetize more debt than in history, at some point, somebody has to lose as the system changes to deflationary assets. And which side of the coin are you going to be on? So what I do is I teach you exactly what I'm doing. No bullshit. Exactly what I'm doing and how we went from losing everything in 2020, being stuck in an inflationary US dollar, not understanding how the system actually works in a vertical strategy to diversification, cash flow, deflationary assets, protection, and leverage. And I'll break that all down repeatedly on the back end of this video. Okay. So Elon is going absolutely bonkers on Twitter. Okay. Now, to me, this is all noise. Now, the things he's stating are true in regards to the American monetary system. 100% true. He's exactly right. Bankrupting America is not okay. Bankrupting any country is not okay. It's kind of like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, right? We're in a violent process right now becoming the butterfly. We have to let this go through the process, guys. But don't be the one to disrupt the process. Be the one to flow with it. The middle ground, the void, Miyamoto Musashi. Bruce Lee, be fluid like water. Don't get played by this, okay? So Elon posted yesterday, call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. The day he leaves the White House, he's going after Trump now. Okay. Elon posted this. I mean, it's just minute after minute. I'm probably exaggerating. Hour by hour, he's posting. America is in the fast lane to debt slavery. All due respect, Elon, you know we are already there. All the money in the system is someone else's debt. Okay. If you don't take your paycheck and you don't buy assets that are deflationary or things that grow your future family, and you have auto loans and car loans and you're barely making it paycheck to paycheck, you're in a debt-based enslavement system. Your money that goes in the bank, they're lending it to the next person walking over. That's why I'm teaching this financial literacy and how I broke free from that system. This is what they're about to do. The US added 12 trillion in debt since 2020, and they're about to add a shitload of debt with this. Is it called the better bill? The big, beautiful bill. Okay. So Crown Financial posts this. It's Treasury versus the Fed. While Fed is sidelined, Bessent, the new Treasury Secretary, unleashed a record 10 billion bond buyback. Now, remember 2 weeks ago, I reported they had a bond auction, and guess what? Nobody showed up. Most of our debt's held outside the United States, about 30% of our debt. Most of it's held by Japan and China. We are in a situation where they could weaponize the bond market by dumping treasuries back on us, weakening the US dollar. But Trump wants a weaker US dollar. That's why his son, that's why Trump was FaceTimed into the Bitcoin conference. That's why Eric Trump, that's why Donald Trump Jr. We're all saying, hold your Bitcoin. Don't sell your Bitcoin. Cynthia Loomis, don't sell your Bitcoin. Rosie Rios, Bitcoin's here to stay. Crypto's here to stay. Shit's on the board for Ripple. I'll keep repeating the same things. Don't get fudded out of this. Don't get played. Okay. They're going to keep. So what does this mean? They literally are printing our own fake ass money by hitting a button. They're taking that money and we're buying our own debt, guys. This is your pay. This is your money. They're printing just nothing. It's Fugazi. It's fake. It's a Ponzi scheme. When people tell me Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, I'm like, do you understand? So how do you get paid? The US dollar, it's a Ponzi scheme. I take my Ponzi scheme money and I put it into deflationary assets. Okay. So we're now buying our own debt because nobody else wants it. Nobody else wants it. And that's why Trump is transitioning us to Bitcoin, blockchain. That's why they're buying a bunch of Ethereum. That's why they have World Liberty Financial. Okay. Brian Armstrong posted this. If the can't even say that. If the electric doesn't hold Congress accountable to reducing the deficit and start paying down the debt, Bitcoin is going to take over the reserve currency. I love Bitcoin, but a strong America is also super important for the world. We need to get our finances under control. Okay. And boom, if you notice here, there's Elon right underneath. Elon responded to Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong saying Bitcoin may be taking over the world reserve currency. He put a little flag here, America. Okay. So this is all by design, guys. Bitcoin, I believe, was always designed to fix this monetary system. Is it ironic that in 2009, Bitcoin is created and Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa came together to de-dollarize, and all of a sudden some pseudonymous person creates Bitcoin and the top 4 holders outside of Satoshi are American? I don't know, man. It's just logic, right? Just logic. I mean, we don't have to get in the weeds about it. It's like, okay, they created a new digital gold in a digital age with AI technology, can't operate without blockchain. Like somebody, you can listen to all the riddlers. We can do the Nasara Jasara, all this stuff. The dates keep moving, but it's like all I know is that we implemented CRM AI technology because we're trying to keep up with 6 companies and our revenue tripled. And if you are a company owner and you don't start to understand how powerful AI is and how quickly it's being implemented, you are going to die off. The old era is going to die off. AI is going to be in everything you touch. Crypto is going to be in everything you touch. Blockchain is going to be in everything you touch. You're not going to run from it. You're going to say, oh, I hate cryptocurrency, but you're going to be actually using the rails that we actually own. People won't even know they're using blockchain. The very people who told you cryptocurrency is a fraud won't even know that they're using a bridge currency. They'll still be going, oh, I believe in the old system. And like, bro, you're using crypto. You're using blockchain technology. Okay. You got it? Just kidding. Just in, 3.6 trillion asset manager JP Morgan to accept Bitcoin and crypto ETFs as collateral for loans. I mean, come on, man. Jamie Dimon told you, okay, let's go back into logic, okay? Jamie Dimon told you, he still tells you he doesn't believe in Bitcoin, but his clients can invest in it. and now his clients can collateralize it, you don't believe in it. You think it's used for money laundering and fraud, and it's a pet rock. But you're gonna let your bank now leverage it? What? And I know it's an ETF, it's exposure, but now you're gonna let your people lend off of it because you know it's the future. Yeah, Jamie Dimon can say that. The guy is very, 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 very wealthy. We're talking about the general public trying to get their shit together. Like, we're trying to survive this, right? We're living paycheck to paycheck. We're trying to figure out a better way for our family. Well, here's how the game works. Every single day you get paid, or every single Friday you get paid, you're paid in someone else's debt. Cash is trash. You work your ass off 40 hours a week, and that paycheck that comes in is someone else's debt. And that hits the direct deposit in your Wells Fargo, your JP Morgan, your Bank of America. And guess what? They hold 0% of it since 2020. They're in a transitory account, a checking account. That money goes in, they can lend it out to the next person walking in. And Treasury Secretary is printing money to buy bonds, our own money to buy our own debt. So think about this. Everybody's like, pay off all the debt. If they paid off all the debt, the whole system would collapse. Our whole system operates off interest. Banks make money in three ways: interest income, fee income, and capital markets income. So no wonder they're telling you to run from Bitcoin for such a long time. Guess what? Because I can be my own bank. Let me explain to you how I did it. I'm not going to the bank anymore to get loans going forward. We finally got there where we have our insurance bank and we have our Bitcoin bank. It took us a while, calm, dollar cost averaging, buying the dips, not chasing candles, not chasing ups and downs, just buying when it goes down, dollar cost averaging every day. When it goes up, we sell a little bit off the table. So Bitcoin, I'm holding forever. I focus on four components: cash flow, not cash. It's absolute trash. Okay. I'm not going to hold something that if I don't beat 2% inflation, they're going to take away my buying power. Okay. If they start printing more, they're going to take away my buying power. So I take my hard earned income and I transmute it into three other things. Okay. Deflationary assets are going to continue to grow, which I use cryptocurrency because it's a fixed supply. Bitcoin and XRP are my top two holdings. They're deflationary. Okay. Bitcoin's beat every other asset class for 10 years. Okay. Then I focus on protection, insurance. Rule number one, don't lose money. Rule number two, follow rule number one, Warren Buffett. So I have a portion of my wealth in assets that are deflationary. I have a portion of my wealth into protection. You should never be in one asset class. And number four is leverage. So I've learned to leverage insurance policies, becoming your own bank. Read the book, Becoming Your Own Bank by Nelson Nash. Okay. The Rockefellers, read What Would the Rockefellers Do? Okay. Then I have my Bitcoin bank. And so I'm practicing what I preach. Let me explain to you how I did this. Okay. Now you can do this for any asset class, but it's very important. You have to be very responsible when you're borrowing from assets. And I'll explain to you how I responsibly borrowed from my Bitcoin. Number one is you want to make sure you do risk weightings. Okay. You look at this. You don't, if it's peaking, so if it's at 150,000 and you think you're at the top of the market, do not do an asset backed loan and leverage 130,000. You're going to get liquidated. Okay. So just recently, not a couple months ago, so we bought an insurance firm. Okay, let me explain. Now you can do this for real estate, you can do this for cash generating assets, and I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to be doing. Okay, took my Bitcoin. I haven't sold any Bitcoin. I transmuted it over to um, Salt. Salt is a lending platform. It's been around since 2016. Not a paid ad. I have no affiliation with them. That's who I used. I did my research, and that's who I used because they've been around for a long time. I used Salt. Okay. After I took 2 weeks to do the KYC, but once I got the KYC, and now I have a relationship with them. 24 hours, I had the money in my bank account. Once they verified that, they direct deposited the money in my bank account. So I never sold any Bitcoin. Okay. So there's the leverage. I still own the Bitcoin. I borrowed from them the cash that I needed at 70% LTV. Okay. I borrowed at 14%. This is called beating the hurdle rate. Okay. So at 14%, my asset is growing 50% every year. So if we do the math, the hurdle rate is if your asset exceeds the amount borrowed, you beat the hurdle rate. So I'm actually getting free money. I'm making 36% on my money as I bought a cash generating business that is paying the loan back. So in 9 months, I will have a free insurance firm because I gained 36%. I beat the hurdle rate and I got free money. Somebody's like, well, what if Bitcoin collapses? Because Dan Pena said it's going to go to zero. And I'm like, okay, if it goes to zero in 10 years, along the way, I bought an insurance firm. I'm going to buy a bunch more cash generating assets. So if it collapses along the way, I bought a bunch of free things that bring me cash. Because I'm not just sitting there holding like, oh my God, I hope that XRP goes to 589. I hope that the Bitcoin goes to 1 million and I can return. No, along the way, I'm leveraging cash flow, leveraging cash flow. Okay, so 9 months, that will be paid off. I'll be back to 100% LTV. Okay, now I have other Bitcoin on the side and other assets on the side just in case the market collapses down to right size that LTV. So that's very important. So once that's paid back, I'm keeping that there. And then boom, I'm going back in. I'm going to lend again at 14%. I just heard that Strike from Jack Mahler I think he said they're announcing single digits. So if that's true, I'll be moving over to Strike. I'll do my research. And if I can get down to single digits, if I can get down to 9%, well, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'll be borrowing at 9%, 70% LTV. I'll be taking that tax-free loan. I don't get taxed on loans, and I'm going to go buy cash generating dividends. And those dividends will pay that off in 9 months or 12 months. And then boom, once that's paid off. So now I have a cash generating insurance company that I bought for free and I made 36% on my loan. And then I'll have a year later, I'll have some dividends. Okay. Once that's paid off, now I have dividends paying me cash completely free. I bought them free because it's a loan. Beat the hurdle rate. Okay. I have an insurance. And then I keep doing that over and over again. And I still have my Bitcoin and I have cash generating assets. That's called leverage responsibly. Okay, so let's walk through that. Bitcoin's never being sold. We're going to keep stacking it. I buy it every single day. I buy XRP every single day. When it dips, I calmly buy more. When it goes up, altcoins, alternative coins, all of the coins, I'll exit 50%. The only reason I'm exiting because I have insurance policies to max fund. Okay, if I exit, it's going to go into cash generating dividends, ETFs. Okay, I'm not going to store in the US dollar. I'm just not going to do it. There makes no sense. It makes no sense for me to store it in the US dollar. We have enough money in our, but we did this at a company level now too. So our company has a Bitcoin treasury, an XRP treasury, and a dividend ETF strategy that now is covering one of our buildings. I did this at a very, very small level and I just kept compounding it. I just kept compounding it. I just kept compounding it. That's it. It's just discipline, consistency, get out of the get rich quick, get out of the meme coin game. There is no get rich quick. And you don't want to get wealth quickly because if you're not ready for it, you're going to lose it. I mean, look at all these influencers that made a ton of money in the last bear market and they lost everything, or excuse me, in the bull market and they lost everything. They bought Lambos, they bought watches, and then they're struggling in the bear market, promoting a bunch of different shit, trying to make money. That's not how wealth is built. From 2020 to 2022, we built empires, we built businesses, we built cash generating businesses. We stayed focused, we stayed disciplined. I bought a modest home. I don't even have a personal car. I have company cars that are, tax write-offs. This is very serious right now, guys. Get very dedicated, get very disciplined, get very focused, create a budget, focus on creating cash flow. Don't buy things. The things will come. There's things that I want to buy. They're on a vision board. And only until my whole ecosystem is taken care of, my whole family can eat, then I'll start buying the things that I want. I want a wake boat. I love going out on the lake. The wake boat I want is like $250,000. I could buy it right now. I could afford the payment very easily. But damn well, I will not get a loan from a bank to take away from my family's future. Here's what I'll do. Is I would borrow from an asset. I would put that into an insurance policy. I would leverage the insurance policy at 5%. Okay. Then I'd put it into a dividend ETF and I'd allow the dividend ETF to pay off my asset backed loan over here and to pay off the interest on my insurance policy and let the dividend pay off the boat. And I'm literally driving a retirement policy. We have to think differently. We have to change our frame of mind. Cash flow is king. Okay. Deflationary assets that appreciate over time is king. You want cash flow. You don't want cash. You want assets. You don't want liabilities. Very, very important. Okay. Nobody cares what kind of car you drive. Nobody cares about the fancy clothes and watches and suits you're wearing. Some people feel that that is the measurement of a man's success or a man's ecosystem. It's not. Trust me. It's not. It's your soul. It's your embodiment. It's what you stand for. I stand for God, family, protecting my ecosystem at all costs, and stay out of other men's businesses. I'm too busy working on mine. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. If you need any support at all, on the description of this video, you can set up a free consultation with my elite insurance team that understands how to properly set up life insurance policies, how to fund them correctly, and we'll break down in detail, every detail on how these things work properly. That's very important. Okay. It's a free consultation. On the other hand, as well, I have the 3T Warrior Academy. We've helped 11,400 people get their shit together, understanding all the strategies that I use in my ecosystem. And then if you need support right away, go to my YouTube channel. You're on my YouTube channel, or go to my YouTube channel, 3T Warrior Academy. There's a whole free education section where I tell you exactly what I'm doing. Okay. Just make sure you do your own research. Make sure you study. Make sure you don't do things because I say to do them or someone else says do them. Do them because you know why you're doing them. That's more important. Financial literacy is the key. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.